I guess one of the most difficult things about being an ambulance officer these days is getting through traffic when we're responding to an emergency. Because if we can get to a scene just 1 minute faster, it could be an extra minute that we have to save someone who's critically injured. And that can make a big difference. Generally, you should move safely to the left when you hear our siren or see our lights. It's one of the ways you can help me do my job, which is, after all about helping you.
From New York, the greatest city in the world, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, President Jimmy Carter, women's gold medal soccer champion Brandi Chastain, and John Mellencamp. Plus Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, heir to the Ox Snack Food fortune, David Letterman.
Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. Nice to see you. Okay. You know, it's cold in New York City. I was talking to the audience about this earlier. It's so cold here in New York City. We went through that dreaded hot spell, and then all of a sudden now it's cold, and I'm thinking, I wonder, like a month from now, will it even be colder? I said to myself. What about Christmas? What's Christmas going to be like, for God's sake? I'll give you an idea how cold it is here in New York City. The Bush twins switched from margaritas to Irish coffee. That's how cold. I won't lie to you, folks. I had a rough weekend. I had to drive my mom to the Canadian border to get her flu shot. Mom. Whoa. How many folks saw the Yankees-Red Sox game last night? At 1 a.m., I was drinking a beer in my underwear, watching the ball game. And then they threw me out of Hooters. News coming out of the Vatican yesterday, by the way, was the 26th anniversary of John Paul becoming Pope. 26 years. It really is amazing, isn't it? 26 years? John Paul says that he will do 5 more years and then turn the whole thing over to Conan O'Brien. That's what he's planning to do. That's a plan. How many folks go on about your business during the course of the day and then suddenly it dawns on you, oh my God, Martha Stewart's in prison? You know, it's awful, isn't it? And I mean, you'll be having your cereal or something and you think, well, I bet Martha's not having her cereal now. Martha's in the Slammer. She's in the old Gray Bar Hotel. Oh. She's in the can. She's in the lockup. And, but, you know, they get her in prison down there in West Virginia or something, but don't kid yourself. This is a tough prison. In fact, today, Martha had to file a complaint about her chatty masseuse. But it's not all bad for Martha in prison today. She got a conjugal phone call from Bill O'Reilly. So that was nice. You folks worried about the flu vaccine shortage? Yes. Listen to this. Because of the flu vaccine shortage, President Bush says that he will skip getting his flu shot this year. Not going to have one. He said because of the shortage, let other people get them. And Kerry says that he'll just get an extra shot of Botox. That's what he said he'd get. That's all he cares about. But have you noticed this now that both candidates are using fear tactics? It's the last minute in the campaign election. Both candidates are now using fear tactics. And you know, my fear, honest to God, my fear is that one of them will get elected. That's my fear. Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen.
much.
My good friend Paul, everybody.
Thank you so very, very much.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Let me tell you who's on the program tonight. Former President Jimmy Carter is joining us this evening.
Yes. Let's see the book.
Look at this.
What is it?
This is a new book, The Hornet's Nest, by Jimmy Carter. This is a novel.
Oh, really?
This is a work of fiction, and I believe based on the Revolutionary War.
I see.
This man has written like 18 books.
How about
here's an amazing role model, not just for former presidents, but for people generally. Don't you think?
I agree with you.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Because he's actively involved in human rights. He's actively involved in monitoring fair democratic elections around the world.
Yeah.
He's actively involved in building homes for people who can't afford homes. He's actively involved in 1,000 other things. And look at me.
Well, you have this show.
Yeah, I put on makeup and talk to actresses. That's what I do.
Don't put that down.
Here's
That's
a man
important work, too.
making an actual contribution.
I understand.
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Called The Hornet's Nest.
Yeah.
Also on the show, soccer great Brandi Chastain, Olympic gold medal winner Brandi Chastain. Here's the book. Brandi Chastain. It's not about the bra.
Wait a minute.
I did a check, and this is the first book to ever be published under that title since the time of Gutenberg.
I see.
It's not about the bra.
This confuses me.
What do you mean?
Because I thought it was, but
I bet you it's a little bit about the bra. But this, of course, refers to the great World Cup victory, and Brandi Chastain yanked off her shirt and ran around the field, and that's typical and traditional of what soccer players do after a winning goal.
They're exuberant.
Yeah, so she was just doing it. It wasn't like she was saying, about these.
Yeah, no.
It's not like that at all.
No, she was just a heat of the moment, and she was thrilled.
Now look at this. How to play hard, play fair, and put the fun back into competitive sports.
Oh, that's what it's about.
Which, by the way, is what I've been trying to do for the last 25 years.
I know you have. I know.
Also on the program, wait a minute. Oh, yes, are you kidding me? Look at this. John Mellencamp. How about that?
It don't get no better. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful cover.
You know what happened? This is John Mellencamp's greatest hits, and there's like 40 or 50 songs on here.
Yeah.
Classic John Mellencamp. And I looked over here and I thought, wait a minute, John Mellencamp, this show is already so great.
I know.
Because we have the former president, Brandi Chastain, talking about her bra. He can't be on this show. He must be on a show tomorrow night. But lo and behold, that's just how great this show is.
This very show.
Yes, sir, right there. That's, I was talking about this earlier, and nobody feels worse about Martha Stewart being in prison than I do.
I know.
Because Martha Stewart was very friendly to us. She'd been on this show many, many times. She was on the old show many, many times, and I was a great supporter of hers and a huge champion. And as I mentioned before, she went through an ugly divorce and was left penniless, and for 9 years lived in a hollow tree. and from that, she became the great Martha Stewart that we know and love.
Yes.
And before Martha Stewart, we didn't know how to make creamy velvet soup, did we?
I certainly didn't.
No. Yeah. How could you make that?
No, I don't know.
And then I made a lot of jokes about Martha because we knew that she wasn't going to prison because the rules are different for celebrities.
We thought so?
We thought so.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's in the slammer. So what we're doing now, we like to check in on her every day. We have a live satellite feed from, it's the Alderson Federal Prison in West Virginia.
Yes.
Is the satellite ready? Okay, let's see if we can check in with Martha. Hi, Martha, it's Dave. Martha, what's going on down there? Hey, Martha, can you hear me? Maybe she can't hear me. Looks like there's some trouble. Martha! Oh, my God.
What's going on now?
Martha, can you hear me?
Oh.
Well, we'll check. We'll check.
Trouble with the
Hate
audio.
to see that. Oh, you can see that. You know, there's stuff going on in the world you know nothing about, and I saw something on television the other day, and I was completely stunned, and I must plead ignorance. I had no idea that this was a problem.
What is it?
I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And after we're done looking at it, you tell me if you knew anything about this.
All right.
I was flabbergasted.
All right.
And I saw this announcement on television over the weekend. Take a look.
All right.
Over the years, monkeys have helped scientists develop countless medical breakthroughs. But now, researchers face a critical monkey shortage. Here's how you can help. First, limit your monkey usage. If you normally go through 5 monkeys a week, try getting by with only 3. Next, ask a licensed professional about breeding your monkey. And finally, when you no longer need your monkey, don't just throw it away. Take it to your nearest monkey recycling facility. With these simple steps, we can all enjoy a bright, monkey-rich future. A message from the National Institutes of Health and the Ad Council.
Monkey shortage.
No, I knew nothing about that. No. I must say I was unaware of that, sir.
Monkey shortage.
Yeah, I didn't know there was such a...
And you think that's bizarre. I was watching the campaign is getting ruthless, more ruthless than ever, ruthlessler, ruthlesser
Yeah,
than
more
any campaign I've seen before, and name-calling and mudslinging.
Ah.
I saw this very peculiar John Kerry campaign commercial.
What was that?
Even more peculiar than the monkey shortage commercial.
Can't be. Doesn't get more peculiar.
There's John Kerry. Watch this.
President Bush claims he cares about protecting the environment. Yet in recent days, across large parts of the country, something terrible has happened to millions of trees. Their leaves have turned bright colors and fallen off. Help turn around this ecological disaster. Vote for John Kerry, friend of the Earth.
See, the nice thing about that, it's so strange it helps you forget about the monkey shortage.
Well, I suppose that's a good...
Ugliness out of
You
your
always
mind.
see the bright side of things.
Yes, I like to think
Yes,
that way.
that's...
Now here, George W. Bush is a terrorism update. It's the George W. Bush terrorism update. Listen carefully.
We have fought the terrorists across the earth, not for pride, not for power, but because the lives of our citizens are at stake. We love you, W! We love you, W!
Well, we have a wonderful program tonight. President Jimmy Carter will be joining us, Brandi Chastain, and John Mellencamp. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Sick of the club scene?
Casual date.
Couples and singles are dating online.
Casual date.
Swing, swap and play.
Casualdate.com.au.
Is the menace of hay fever holding you back? This year, take charge with a little rhino. Just spray each day to stop hay fever before it stops you.
So what do you think?
Well, the individual in question was driving a Ford AU Falcon Series 2. Done about 90,000 Ks. And check this out. The camber of the front left wheel is out by 4 degrees. And that means trouble.
Book him in, Davo.
Nobody knows your Ford like we do. Visit your local Ford dealer right now and get 4 shock absorbers to fit EF to AU Falcons for the price of 3. Ford service. Nobody knows your Ford like we do.
Pilates is a great way to help you get in shape for summer. So why not start now with your introductory Pilates DVD, free from Special K.
Dream, dream, dreaming on a holiday. It's so nice if we can stay. Dream, dream, dreaming on a holiday. It's so nice.
Kitchen sink sorted, love.
Hello? That's the kitchen sink sorted? Is that it? Is there anything else?
Oh, no thanks, that's great.
Yeah.
It was miles away. Fresh. Go to your happy place.
Thank you very much, Paul. President Jimmy Carter, Brandi Chastain, and John Mellencamp Here's tonight's top 10 list. Let's try that. What a great list. The category tonight, top 10 bad things about being named Martha Stewart.
Oh.
This is a bad time for Martha Stewart and for people named Martha Stewart.
Sure.
That's the category. And here to present tonight's top 10 list from Montclair, New Jersey, please welcome Martha Stewart. Martha? How do you do, Martha? Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. Martha Stewart, ladies and gentlemen, from Montclair, New Jersey.
Wait a minute, this is Martha Stewart?
That's right, that's her name.
This is a woman whose actual name is Martha Stewart?
That's right, from Montclair, New Jersey.
I see.
Top 10 bad things about being named Martha Stewart.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 10.
Everybody expects you to be able to make crazy stuff out of pine cones.
That's right. Crazy stuff out of pine cones.
Right, that's bad. It would be bad.
Yeah. Number 9.
When people ask for your favorite stuffing recipe, they get mad when you hand them a box of stovetop.
That's right. Right. Number 8.
If someone says it's a good thing to me one more time, I'm going to break his leg.
I don't blame you. Number 7.
Every day at my house is subpoenas, subpoenas, subpoenas.
I'm certainly sorry to hear that. Yeah. Number 6.
Seeing my name plastered over all that cheap Kmart junk.
Yeah. I understand that. Number 5.
Everybody thinks you should smell like lilac.
Why not? Number 4.
I once got a $12,000 bill for a tarragon.
Mm-hmm. Number 3.
People keep asking me if I've shivved my first snitch yet.
Snivved my first... Shivved my first snitch.
Yeah, who knew? Such a tongue twister.
Snivved my first...
Shivved my first snitch.
And number 2.
When it comes to making oatmeal raisin cookies, the bar is set pretty high.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, yeah.
And the number 1 bad thing about me being named Martha Stewart.
The drunken 4 a.m. calls from Letterman.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Martha Stewart, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to you, Martha. Thank you. So you see, that's not the Martha Stewart, it's a Martha Stewart.
Woman, it's a Martha Stewart.
That's right, exactly. Our next guest served this country as our 39th president and went on to win a Nobel Peace Prize. He is also the author of this best-selling novel. Got it right here, entitled The Hornet's Nest. Please welcome President Jimmy Carter. Good to see you, sir. Thank you very much. You look wonderful.
Well, I'm getting on fine for 80,
And you recently, earlier this month, celebrated your birthday. Is that correct?
Yes.
And do you mind telling us? I guess we all know what the birthday was.
Well, when I was 60, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Right.
When I was 65, I went 1,100 feet above Mount Everest Base Camp. When I was 70, I climbed Mount Fuji. When I was 80, I walked all the way out to my wood shop and back and didn't fall down.
80 years old.
80 years old, yeah. So coincidentally, Roger Williams was born exactly the same day I was, so he and I celebrated our 80th birthday together at the Carter Center.
Very nice.
And he played the piano for 13 and a half hours.
Wow. Pretty good.
To celebrate our birthday. He played the piano. I listened.
But you look tremendous.
I get along fine.
And you feel well, and
absolutely.
And continuing to lead a very productive, active life. So
Well,
that's great.
true,
isn't
yes.
it? It's wonderful. And your wife is doing well?
Perfectly well.
Yeah.
She's a lot younger than I am.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the book. Now, am I correct that this is your first novel?
It's the first novel that I've written, and they tell me it's the only novel that a president's ever written.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And other people related to presidents have written works of fiction, haven't they? Or no, I'm thinking of
maybe so.
Dan Quayle's wife, vice president, was actually writing novels. Does that ring a bell with you?
I think that's true. I think she wrote some, and I think Margaret Truman wrote some murder mysteries about the White House.
And this is based on the Revolutionary War, is that right?
Yes, it's a novel about the Revolutionary War, and it's called The Hornet's Nest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very accurate description of what the Revolutionary War was. But I wove in, of course, fictional characters.
Right.
It's a very good book.
And what, in reading... In reading the book, what would we learn about the Revolutionary War that we didn't know, regardless of how much attention we paid in high school?
Well, first of all, almost all battles that shaped the war were fought in the South.
Is that right, in the South?
From St. Augustine, Florida, through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Southern Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing people would learn is that George Washington never won a major battle. He won 2 skirmishes, one at Trenton and one at Princeton, but he lost Philadelphia while that was going on. And what most people know about the Revolutionary War is that we fought a few skirmishes around Boston, and Paul Revere rode a horse at night, and Washington crossed the Delaware in a storm, and Cornwallis surrendered. That's about all we know about the Revolutionary War, which is the most important war, obviously, in our nation's history. And it was a very bitterly fought war, the most ferocious and bloody war we ever fought as far as hatred was concerned. And we never would have won in the end had the French not joined us in the final battles and controlled the sea. So all of those things, I think, are quite different from what most Americans remember about the war.
Bloodier than even the Civil War.
Not as many people died, but the hatred was so intense. There was a standard practice that developed throughout the South where most of the major battles were fought, that then if you surrendered at the end of a battle, you were executed with a bayonet thrust or a bullet through your head. It was giving no quarter.
I see.
In other words, don't take any prisoners.
Right. How long did it take you to do this, to write the book?
7 years.
Wow.
That was all the study, the research, and the writing, yes. But in the meantime, I wrote 3 other books. This is my 18th book.
Yes.
Which my only novel. But
my goodness, it's very impressive.
Well,
and it's a bestseller for you?
It's a bestseller, all right, yes.
That must be terribly gratifying. What do you... I guess as a former office holder, this time of year, you can't help but get excited about the election coming up, can you?
That's true. I try not to get excited, but I do.
Yeah. And how do you think things... I guess today the most recent poll figures indicate a dead heat, that we're going into a dead heat now.
Well, it looks like, I think before the debates there was a massive advantage for President Bush, and then the debates, I think, turned things around. And now apparently on a nationwide basis, President Bush is a little bit ahead. But in the key states where the electoral votes are going to be forthcoming, it's almost a dead heat, yes.
And is this pretty much exactly where we were 4 years ago at this time?
It's very close, yes. As you know, it came out in Florida, and of course the Florida election was a debacle, and nobody ever knows who won that election. But I think that it's as close now, in my opinion, and the pollsters' opinion, as it was 4 years ago.
And is it likely that the same thing is ahead of us?
I think it's quite possible. I hope not likely. Still, Florida is close. There's not a uniform way to vote in Florida. There's no real certified way to recount votes if it's very close in a particular voting area. And there's no doubt that the Secretary of State is a highly partisan Republican activist. But despite all that, my hope is that there's close attention paid to key places like Florida and Ohio will result in an honest election. I believe it will.
And you've spent a great deal of time monitoring elections around the world. Should we be asking you to go down there and take a look at this one?
Well, we just finished our 52nd election. That was in Indonesia, and the one before that was in Venezuela, and I'll be going in a few days to Mozambique. And so we do elections all over the world. But we have to be, first of all, invited in by both sides, which is unlikely in Florida. There has to be a central control for the entire election process of a completely non-partisan basis. And of course, money shouldn't make any difference in that all the candidates, regardless of whether they have any money or not, should have a chance to present their campaign platform on the television radio.
I tell you, when we come back, I want to ask you what your impression of was how things went in Afghanistan last week. All right?
Fine.
All right, we'll be right back here with President Jimmy Carter, everybody.
Wednesday, it's romance for some and absolute chaos for others.
So what's the problem?
I don't know where Tessa's money went. It's $10,000 and I lost it.
McLeod's Daughters, 7:30 Wednesday on Win.
Girls and guys who love to flirt are waiting for you now at Text Flirt. Just SMS the word flirt to 197FLIRT. It's Australia's hottest flirt and chat service. Have cheeky fun. Send flirty texts. Store it in your mobile now. You'll be rolling on the floor laughing. You'll be drooling. It doesn't hurt to flirt with like-minded guys and girls. SMS flirt to 197FLIRT. Store it in your mobile now. See you later at Text Flirt.
Want to get in on the ultimate lifestyle? Keep watching Win Television and you could win the Sultan Ultimate Lifestyle Pack. Valued at over $800, it's filled with fantastic products from Sultan, and there's 8 to be won. Be sure to be watching Backyard Blitz, Bert's Backyard, and You Are What You Eat for your cue to call. And you could have the Sultan Ultimate Lifestyle Pack just in time for summer. Keep watching Australia's premium lifestyle programs on Win Television for your chance to win.
Meet my Uncle Joe. Nice enough guy, but always spilling stuff. He's a carpet's worst nightmare. Sooner or later, you're going to need Preen for Carpet's Power Shot. Give the stain a quick blast with Power Shot. It instantly removes the toughest stains right before your eyes. Now everyone can be as clumsy as Uncle Joe. Preen for Carpet's Power Shot, the great unstainer.
Troy, buy it on DVD.
Immortality! Take it! It's yours!
No son of Troy will ever submit to a foreign ruler. The greatest warriors in the greatest battle. Troy, buy it October 20 on DVD at Target.
One man with one mission.
This is mind-blowing. I feel like I'm in a movie.
Join Jules for an amazing Ice Age adventure. Plus, Nat goes Greek island hopping.
This place is absolutely beautiful.
Getaway, Thursday on Win.
Jimmy Carter. The book is The Hornet's Nest, and I forgot to mention that in addition to everything else that we've discussed regarding the book, you've also painted the cover. Very impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And this is likely what it would have been like fighting in the Revolutionary War.
Well, that's the main character in my book, and I wanted to present it the way I think he actually looked, with blonde hair and a ponytail in the back and shooting a rifle properly. My publisher, Simon & Schuster, wanted me to have a different one that N.C. Wyeth painted of Daniel Boone, but it wasn't like I wanted, so I decided to take up painting and do the cover.
You want it done right, by gosh. Good for you. So to your observation and what you know, which I'm guessing is far more than most of us know regarding the election in Afghanistan, did it turn out all right or not all right?
Well, we don't yet know. I think they've only counted 10% of the ballots, but apparently it was a safe election, and I think a major step forward, yes.
And what about the supposed election in January in Iraq?
It seems to me to be quite conjectural, David. You know, whether we can have enough peace and stability and safety on the streets. So not only can election monitors go to the different places but also so the voters can go without fear of intimidation. That's very doubtful, if not unlikely, in January.
And so regardless of who is the president, doubtful, if not unlikely, in January.
Well, I think so. Well, I think ultimately it'll depend on whether the United Nations is willing to take that responsibility on. And I think that will be regardless of who the president is. I hope a schedule does not slip. But you asked me what my opinion was. I think it's unlikely that we'll be ready in January. It takes months and months ahead of a complicated election to arrange everything. We know from many experiences, and we're not yet doing that.
In your view, as a man of the world and a man of great intellect, is this just the mess, Iraq now, just the mess that we have to put up with and tolerate and grieve over to eventually take a step forward in that region, or not?
Well, I think so. I personally thought that the war was unjust and completely unnecessary. It was based on false premises. But now that we are in Iraq, I think the best thing to do is for us to figure out the best way to extricate ourselves and leave Iraqis in charge of their own political situation, and also to bring in allies who can help take over the responsibilities for the economic future of Iraq and also for the military security of Iraq. That has to be done. So far, we have not been willing to relinquish, as you know, either the military or political or economic control or influence in Iraq. And the deep resentment against our continued presence, I think, will be alleviated considerably if and when the United States makes it very clear that under these conditions and in this time frame, we will withdraw our troops and let the Iraqis run their own affairs.
And if Senator Kerry prevails, it's on the basis of the argument about how the post-invasion Iraq will be handled. Do you think that will turn the election?
I think that still is a major issue, but I know from experience, not only here but around the world, that whenever a beleaguered leader, like a president or prime minister, changes from being the administrator of health and welfare and education and taxation and becomes the commander-in-chief with our troops overseas and in danger, immediately that escalates the status and the popularity of the incumbent president, as it has done in the case of George Bush and also his father, who was before him, and that always happens. But I think that that has been the major factor that has perpetuated George Bush into the present popularity that he has. Now, as you say, it's very close. Had it not been for that circumstance as the commander-in-chief, when it's very improper in some people's minds even to criticize the mistakes that he makes, I think he would be much lower in the polls.
Tell me a little bit about when you won the Nobel Prize. A couple of years ago, I thought maybe one day I'd win one.
Yeah, well, man, it's not too late.
But I've kind of given up on that.
Don't give up. No, don't give up. I was a lot older than you are when I... Well,
what is that experience for you? I mean, you're notified that you're in the running, you're notified that you won. How does that happen?
I had no idea. In fact, I was sound asleep when the telephone rang the morning that they notified me. I didn't even know it was a day for the Nobel Prizes to be awarded. I had hoped many years earlier, when I negotiated the peace treaty between Israel and Egypt, and Sadat and Begin got the Nobel Prize, I thought I would get it. I thought I deserved to get it, but I didn't. so I gave up. But then I was, as you remember, I was involuntarily retired from the White House at a fairly early age, and I began the Carter Center's work in 65 nations in the world for peace and for democracy and freedom and environment and alleviation of suffering and human rights. And it was because of the Carter Center's work that they finally gave me the Nobel Peace Prize. So I was very grateful.
And at the time, there were people suggesting that it might have been a statement in reaction to the invasion of Iraq by the current administration, people celebrating a different way to approach world problems. Did you believe that that was a factor then?
Well, I heard that mentioned, but I think it was because early on I did conclude the peace treaty in Egypt and Israel and the work that the Carter Center has done for the last 25 years.
And are you still building houses?
Sunday I'll be leaving for Veracruz and Puebla in Mexico, and my wife and volunteers will build 75 homes in Veracruz, 75 homes in Puebla in 5 days for poor people in need. That's what I'll be doing. That's next week.
This is the novel, the Times bestseller. The Hornet's Nest, written by President Jimmy Carter. He painted the cover art, and he just told me that he hand-numbered each page. An amazing accomplishment. Congratulations on a wonderful life.
Thank you very much.
President Jimmy Carter, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Brandi Chastain.
Girls and guys who love to flirt are waiting for you now at Text Flirt. Just SMS the word flirt to 197FLIRT. It's Australia's hottest flirt and chat service. Have cheeky fun. Send flirty texts. Store it in your mobile now. You'll be rolling on the floor laughing. You'll be drooling. It doesn't hurt to flirt with like-minded guys and girls. SMS flirt to 197FLIRT. Store it in your mobile now. See you later at Text Flirt.
What do you got there?
A K-Time apple muffin bar.
You want some? That's great.
It's the delicious combination of wheat, apple and a sprinkling of oats that makes K-Time muffin bars irresistible.
Go on, have a bit more.
Hey, I said a bit.
Oh, well, I'll just have to have the new raspberry flavour then.
Oh, raspberry? Can I have one? You. This works much better.
Mess is part of life. Soak it up with Viva from Kleenex, the only paper towel with V-shaped ripples that make them soft, strong and super absorbent. Life's V-messy. Soak it up with Viva.
I recommend Frontline Plus because it's the best. It kills fleas on your pets, stops them breeding in your home, and also controls ticks. Other products just don't work as well as Frontline Plus. Do they, mate? Good boy.
Thank you very much. 80 years old.
Amazing.
I wasn't that active when I was 16.
I'm happy.
Isn't that remarkable?
That's great.
Good for him.
That's great.
Good for us, by God. Our next guest is a two-time Olympic gold champion whose new book is entitled It's Not About the Bra. I was hoping it was. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Brandi Chastain. Since we last right after the Olympics, but nice going on the Olympic gold medal. And that wasn't a shoe-in, by the way. That wasn't the Olympics, was it?
No, it never is. I mean, you got to play those teams. Those are the best teams in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, in other events, your team would have been maybe favored or had a good chance,
Right.
but this is not necessarily the case this time, was it?
Not necessarily the case,
Right.
but we came through in the end, which
Right.
is important.
And what was the mood on the team? Because I know you got a lot of people leaving that organization, a lot of younger people.
Well, the Olympics were really special this time around, a little bit different than the ones before because we have a group, Mia, Joy, and Julie, who will be retiring. I'm sorry. Yeah, round of applause for them. And so everybody's emotions were, we need to win so these players can stand on the top podium and hear the national anthem. And the most wonderful thing about those three and the rest of this team was we were all saying, well, we need to win it for the first time or so they know what it's like to stand on that podium. So it was very mutual and who wanted to win what for whom. So
great experience for the team and
unbelievable.
also
Greece was terrific. If you haven't been there, go. It's beautiful.
Now tell me about the book. It's Not About the Bra. Now this, I was right. This is in the World Cup, and you were took your shirt off, your jersey, your whatever sweater. What do they call them? And there you have it. And that's all it was.
What have you been drinking?
Oh, but there was nothing wrong with that, was there? Really?
No, it was just a wonderful celebration for a wonderful moment. It was darn hot out there.
Sure.
To add to that, and yeah, so it's really not about the bra, however, and that's why I think the geniuses at HarperCollins and my co-author Gloria came up with that title.
Why couldn't it be about the bra, though? I mean, what would be so wrong, really? There would be nothing wrong if the name of this book was It's About the Bra.
Well, okay, to be serious, because you're funny.
Oh,
Is that, you know, I didn't want anybody to feel that that moment was staged or thought about before and contrived.
Right.
And what the title means to me, and I hope to share that with everybody, is that it's about every single moment on that soccer field I spent with my teammates, my parents, my friends, every single young girl and boy I've met at the stadium. It's about all those moments, not just then.
Absolutely. And in the male counterparts, when something like this happens in a game, they take their shirts off, and nobody goes around saying, well, what's the deal? You took your shirt off.
Yeah.
It's just part of the deal.
Well, yes, that was true. It used to be that way, but now FIFA has kind of put the kibosh on that whole thing.
You can't do that anymore?
No, but a player recently took his shorts off. He said, well, you said I couldn't take my shirt off.
That's right. Well, now we're getting somewhere. Take your pants off, for God's sakes.
Right. So it makes sense, right?
And what is this? How to play hard, play fair, and put the fun back in competitive sports. Well, what about people, parents of soccer players, parents of little leaguers, parents of hockey kids, who go nuts and kill other parents at the event? Run onto the field and kill an official.
Yeah, you know, I can't imagine that really happening. I know it has, but, you know, this book is talking about all the wonderful virtues and lessons that I've learned from the day my parents and I walked hand in hand down to the local school to sign up. I slept in my jersey that night to when we got this gold medal in Athens. You know, support your children. Give them all the encouragement they need. You know, allow them the opportunity to test who they are and find out about themselves. But don't get in the way of what they're doing.
Well, what changed? It wasn't that way when you were a kid, was it? Was your mom running around screaming at people you were playing soccer?
Speaking of that, my mother was a wonderful cheerleader. She was probably my greatest fan, and I was her greatest fan. But she would come to my soccer games with a megaphone about this tall. On the sideline like this, there's a picture in there. It's adorable. It's my favorite picture of my mom. And she would scream. There's 15 fans on the sideline, and she's screaming through this thing. See that? Get close, get close. It's so darn cute. Look at that megaphone.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I could hear my mom's voice in 90,000 people, so she did not need a megaphone. But really, you know, I'm a stepmom. I have a to-be 16-year-old, and I love being on the sideline. I love him knowing that I'm there and that.
Yeah, but what haywire? By the way, Mom's got great legs.
Hey.
But you know, now people go crazy and they run around screaming at the kids and they're beating each other up and they're backing over them in the van, and it's gone. Why is it different in a very short period of time? And soccer is supposed to be the beautiful sport, the beautiful game.
It sure is. You're absolutely correct on that. But I just think that, you know, sports has become such a focal point in society that we use athletes as role models, and we take them, you know, they're paid millions of dollars. I mean, not soccer players, but, you know, if anybody wants to pay us that much, it's fine. But I just think that in terms of the focus, it's going away from the values, and we need to let the kids learn about themselves. Teamwork, hard work, dedication, confidence.
I hope it can be turned around, because it's so ugly now, you know?
We're turning it around. This book is going to help people, I think. And I want you to know, you're a soccer dad.
Yes. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, bless your heart. Look at this. A little soccer ball for Harry. Very nice. It's not about the bra. Brandi Chastain. We'll be right back with John Mellencamp. That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
Never before has the truth been so hard to find.
You don't have all your facts.
8:30 Wednesday, all new CSI Miami hits the headlines.
You're gonna hurt a lot of people if you write that story.
A young gun journo uncovers more than the big scoop.
This is the last thing Mike would have wanted. Not if we find his killer.
But at what cost?
You aren't interested in the truth.
Murder will speak louder than words. All new CSI Miami, 8:30 Wednesday on Win.
A tablet that really works better than dishwasher powder? Compare new improved Finish 3-in-1 tablets to powder on tough stains like lasagna. Only Finish tablets have a Powerball plus 30% more stain soakers, which penetrate and break up baked on food, while powerful active oxygen and detergents help remove every last trace better than powder. Finally, the Finish Powerball with Super Shine Rinse Aid provides that extra sparkle. Test new improved Finish 3-in-1 tablets for yourself. Brand Power, helping you buy better.
Introducing Venus Divine, the only razor with new comfort-coated blades surrounded by intensive moisture strips enriched with botanical oils, giving you the closest shave for divinely smooth skin, even around sensitive curves. Because every inch of a goddess is divine. New Venus Divine. Reveal the goddess in you. At last, Venus is available in a disposable. New Venus Divine Disposable.
Dream, dream, dreaming on a holiday. It's so nice if we can stay. Dream, dream, dreaming on a holiday. It's so nice.
That's the kitchen sink sorted, love.
Hello? That's the kitchen sink sorted? Is that it? Is there anything else?
Oh, no thanks, it's great.
Yeah.
It was miles away. Fresh. Go to your happy place.
As a teacher and a mum, I believe Nutella for breakfast helps provide sustained energy. Nutella has a low GI, so it releases energy slowly, helping kids stay alert. With hazelnuts and skim milk, Nutella provides energy to live and learn.
Well, this is a pretty good deal right here. Our next guest is a Grammy Award-winning songwriter who just wrapped up the big Vote for Change tour. And this is the new CD. It's a greatest hits collection called Words and Music. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, John Mellencamp.
The simple-minded and the uninformed can be easily led astray. And those that cannot connect the dots, hey, look the other way. People believe what they want to believe when it makes no sense at all. So be careful of those killing Jesus' name. He don't believe in killing at all. Walk tall. Yeah, walk on. To this world, walk tall. Somewhere around in the distance is the death of you and me. Even though we don't think of it much, we're still out there for us to see. If you treat your life like a ballroom fight, you die staying a gin. No drunkards allowed in heaven, no sinners will get in. Walk tall. Yeah, walk on. Yeah, walk tall. Through this world, walk tall. Careful in what you believe in. There's plenty to get you confused. And in this land called paradise, you must walk in many man's shoes. Bigotry and hatred are enemies to us all. But grace, mercy, and forgiveness helps a man walk tall. Walk tall. Yeah, walk on. Yeah, walk tall. Through this world, through this world, yeah, walk tall.
John Mellencamp, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful collection of wonderful music. There's like 40 songs or more on there, right?
Yep, hold on.
Tremendous. John Mellencamp, thank you very much. We'll be right back, folks.
Is my watch playing tricks on me? You're eating breakfast and it's 3:30? Well, we were starving when we got back.
And Sultana Brand's an awesome snack. Gotta have those Sultanas from the grapevine. Taste so good, we want them all the time. Sweet, juicy Sultanas from the grapevine.
Oh.
Hi, John.
Oh, you're kidding, aren't you?
We're here to talk about your laundry.
You can come in. I find any stains, though, but come in.
Well, John, we want to talk about boosting your wash, not just about stains. Let's get this shirt looking like new again. Nappy Sand In Wash Booster can help to remove grime that some detergents alone can't shift. Wash after wash, you'll see the difference.
It's brilliant.
To keep your whites whiter and your colours brighter, use Nappy Sand In Wash Booster every wash.
Glad wave-top tie bags. The easy way to take out the rubbish. Glad thinks big about the little things.
I have a really sweet tooth, so it's good to know I can now enjoy sweets and keep my teeth healthy. Because Wrigley's Extra Drops are sugar-free. Wrigley's Extra Drops, now available in bags.
How about that? Is that for President Carter?
That was wonderful to see him again.
Yeah, no, but was that music for President Carter?
Oh, well, this was actually technically Civil War music. His was, of course, the Revolutionary War.
Right, but they drove old Dixie down, he being from the South.
Well, that's, yeah,
So
but I wouldn't want to say, when he was here, they drove old Dixie down. The guy being from the South, I had to save it till he was gone.
You're nothing if not thoughtful. My thanks to John Mellencamp. Still getting it done. How about that guy?
That was terrific.
John Mellencamp, Brandi Chastain, President Jimmy Carter, and Martha Stewart. We'll see you tomorrow night with Jude Law and Ricky Gervais. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
Kilts are not